Hello again. My name is Mr. Dan. Welcome to Monday Myths and Folktales. I'm really glad you're joining me for today's story, the story of lightning and thunder. This story is told to us by Bryan, but it's based on folktales that come to us from the west coast of the continent Africa. More specifically, they come from southern Nigeria, a country in Africa. So, without further ado, this is the story of lightning and thunder. A long time ago, I mean a long, long time ago, if you wanted to pat lightning or chat with thunder, you could do it. You could. Thunder was a mother sheep, and lightning was her son, a ram. In those days, thunder and lightning didn't live in the sky. They lived right here on Earth. Their home was in a village on the west coast of Alkebulan. Alkebulan, called Africa today. Ma Sheep Thunder and her son lived in a hut where he was born, just east of the marketplace. You'd see them standing by the door of their hut. You could stop for a chat, or to pat, or just a wave as you walked by. They watched the flow, the come and go of the people from the country, the people from the town. When they tired of looking one way, they could always turn around and look the other way. Use your head, son, Ma Sheep Thunder said. If things don't work out one way, try another. Hear what I say? I'm your mother. I hear you, said son Ram Lightning, and he did, in his own way. Ma Sheep Thunder was a good friend of rain. If the farmer's fields needed moisture, Ma Sheep Thunder would go high up onto the nearby mountain to call rain. But often she had to call for a long time before rain came. After her son was born, Ma Sheep Thunder taught him to help her call the rain. Then her rumbling voice and the flash of her son's fleece, as he raced in the mountain, caught rain's attention at once, and rain came more quickly. One season, the farmlands were dry. The king sent for Ma Sheep Thunder and son Ram Lightning. He knew that they were rain's best friends. They could call rain down. It took the two of them. He knew it. And he was proud that they could do it. He said, "Crops are thirsty, land is dry. Call friend rain down from the sky." Off they went. When they were high up in the mountain, son Ram Lightning bolted ahead of his mother. He zigzagged across the slopes, sparks flying from his coat. Ma Sheep Thunder followed, calling, "Balam! Balam!" Suddenly, rain clouds appeared along the path to the mountaintop. When son Ram Lightning saw friend Rain in the clouds, he flashed a greeting. Ma Sheep Thunder clapped, "Balam! Balam!" Friend Rain stepped out of the clouds and fell. The villagers cheered. Their crops were saved. They sang and danced in the rain. It was no wonder that Ma Sheep Thunder and son Ram Lightning were the two most honored inhabitants in the kingdom. Children liked to pat son Ram Lightning's coat and watched the sparks fly. Ma Sheep Thunder stood by, chatting while son Ram Lightning stood still for the patting. However, he much preferred racing in the mountain, sparks flying and his mother following. One year, Ma Sheep Thunder and son Ram Lightning came often at the king's call for rain. The crops were splendid, and there was a great harvest celebration. The king entered the village in a procession led by the drummers. People crowded around him. "Stay right by me," Ma Sheep Thunder said to her son. "Your horns may have grown out, but you're not grown up yet." Sun Ram Lightning wanted to show off his horns to the king. He and his mother were far back in the crowd. While his mother chatted, he hopped and jumped, but the crowd blocked his view. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever been in a big crowd trying to see something really exciting, but there's so many people that it's hard to see over their heads? Definitely happened to me before. "If things don't work out one way, try another," he said, remembering his mother's wise words. "Use your head." He lowered his head, pawed the ground, and charged. With a biff-bam butt, he sent people flying and falling to both sides. It got him to the head of the crowd. It did. He stopped before the king. "What a hard head," cried the king. "What horns!" "And they're not all grown out yet," said Sun Ram Lightning. "You boast," said the king. "It is an outrage at your age to go on such a rampage." "I used my head as I heard my ma said." "With a biff-bam butt, I cleared the way." "There is a better way, son, to use your head," said Ma Sheep Thunder. "Whatever you do, no more biff-bam butts out of you." There is a proverb. That's a story. "There's a proverb," the king said. "A frisky child knocks his face against the rock. Bad ways will get you into trouble. My people are no rock for your son to knock. To protect them, I must move you from the center of the village to the edge of town." After they moved, Ma Sheep Thunder kept a close watch on Sun Ram Lightning, especially when they went to market. For a good while, she kept him out of trouble. One very hot day, they set out for the village market. It was a long walk. When they arrived in the marketplace, Sun Ram Lightning was hungry. "We'll eat soon," his mother said. She stopped to chat with a friend who made straw baskets and straw hats. As she chatted, she soon forgot about food, and she forgot about her son. So Ram Lightning waited. He grew hungrier and hungrier. Leaning over, he licked a basket. "Tasty straw," he thought. He tried another. He licked his way down the line of baskets. Then he started on the straw hats. His teeth nicked a brim. "Tasty hat," he said. He took a bite. It stirred his appetite. Yum! A delight! He began munching and crunching the straw hat. He was so hungry, he devoured it and started on another. Sun Ram Lightning didn't notice that this hat was at the bottom of a pile. A few bites into it, a mountain of straw hats came tumbling down around him. "Hey, hey, hey!" cried a straw maker when she turned and saw what was happening. Sun Ram Lightning was surprised to find himself in a sea of hats. The straw maker raised her broom to strike. Sun Ram Lightning shook free of the hats. He lowered his head and pawed the ground. "Parum, parum, parum!" "Stop!" cried Ma Sheep Thunder. Whether her "stop" was for the straw maker or for her son, it didn't stop either one of them. Sun Ram Lightning charged. Wham, biff, bam! His head split the broom and spilled the straw maker. She landed, crunch, on 5 straw baskets. Ma Sheep Thunder helped the straw maker to her feet. She apologized to her friend as she hurried her son away from the scene. "Didn't I tell you no more biff bam buff?" she said. "That was no biff bam butt," said Sun Ram Lightning. "That was my wham biff bam. I saw that broom coming. I couldn't dodge it, so I charged it. I used my head, just like you said." "There's a better way to use your head, son," his mother said. "Whatever you do, no more wham biff bam out of you." When this incident was reported to the king, he sent for the mother sheep and her son Ram. I wonder what he's going to say to them. I bet he's even angrier than last time. What do you think? "You're good for the rain," he said, "but I'll have to move you once again, even farther away than before." "Well, we're already on the edge of town," said Ma Sheep Thunder. "How much farther can we go?" "I'll move you beyond the village," said the king, "past the farmlands and the fields, to the center of the forest." From the center of the village to the center of the forest, sighed Ma Sheep Thunder. Their new home was a long way off. Ma Sheep Thunder missed the chatting. Sun Ram Lightning didn't miss standing for the patting. He was free now to skip and bound in the forest. His mother didn't have to follow him all the time. He felt grown up. He could come and go now all by himself. One morning, Sun Ram Lightning went out to play. "Remember now, don't go too far away," said his mother. After a few bounces and bounds around the hut, he began to bite berries on the bushes nearby. Before he knew it, he had nibbled his way to the edge of the forest. He looked up. There was an ox eating the vegetables in the field. Sun Ram Lightning knew he was not to leave the forest without his mother. Still, he wanted to save the farmer's crops. "Ma says no biff bam butts," he thought, "and no wham biff bams either. I'll just biff bop him. That will stop him. Everyone will thank me." What do you think? Is biff bop going to help him out? Is it going to make the problem better? Sun Ram Lightning pawed the ground, prum, 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 and he lowered his head and charged. Biff bop! He struck Ox from behind. Ox reared up and cried, "Moo!" He spun around and came down facing Sun Ram Lightning. One look at Ox and Ram's charge plans changed. He turned and took off. Sun Ram Lightning ran so swiftly that sparks showered from his coat. The sparks came among the dry leaves. In a short while, flames had consumed more of the farmer's crop than Ox could have eaten in a whole day. So what do you think? Did Biff Bop help the farmer? Did Biff Bop save the crops from the ox and save the crops so that the farmer could have them? Sounds like they didn't. They burned up, all because of one Biff Bop. Ox stopped and backed up before the flames. Sun Ram Lightning entered the forest. He slowed down when he saw that Ox no longer followed. By now, the villagers had reached the edge of the field. Drummers drummed the fire signal as the villagers cried, "Who fires the field fire's food? Friends of rain should do us good." Ma Sheep Thunder smelled the smoke and heard the commotion. She ran out of her hut and caught up with her son. "To the mountain! To the mountain!" she cried. "Bah, bah, lamb! Bah! Balam! She called Friend Rain as her son streaked ahead. Before they reached the top of the mountain, Friend Rain had seen the light flashes and heard the call. Rain came and poured down on the fields until the fires were out. There was no dancing or cheering in the village this time. A solemn group of villagers stood behind the king as Ma Sheep Thunder and Sun Ram Lightning entered the village. "I've heard the cry of my people," the king said. "They no longer feel safe with you living on earth amongst them. Even when your son tries to help, he hurts. From now on, you are banished from my kingdom and from the earth. Your home will be far away from us all, beyond our call in the sky." Ma Sheep Thunder and Sun Ram Lightning obeyed the wishes of the king and his people. They returned to the mountain. When they reached the mountain top, they kept going. They followed the path that the clouds take when they come down from the sky to the mountain. Farther and farther along the path they went. At last, they reached their new home in the sky. That is where they live to this very day. Every now and then, Sun Ram Lightning gets away from home. He does. And he still causes trouble. He streaks back to Earth and strikes anything in his path. His mother runs after him, her rumbling voice calling him back. Sometimes, Ma Sheep Thunder is so far behind that we can hardly hear her voice. Sun Ram Lightning hears her, though, but he doesn't always listen. I know somebody like that too. I do. But I'm not saying who. And that is the story of Lightning and Thunder. If you'd like to try your hand at Ashley Bryan's fantastic artistic style, pick up a craft packet from the Palmer Library to help you get started. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Next week, we'll set our sights on South Asia. I'll be reading Grandma and the Great Gourd, a Bengali folktale retold by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. If you can't wait till next week for more international folktales, join author, illustrator, and Palmer Public Library favorite David Hyde Costello on Wednesday, July 22nd at 10 a.m.